Welcome back into the Rounding Third Baseball Podcast, episode 193. Super Bowl is over. It's baseball season. Officially baseball season. How are we doing, Harrison?
Fantastic. Bring on baseball season, right, Nick?
Heck yeah. I am so pumped and ready for this season. It's about time. That's all I can say.
Agreed.
All right. We'll have some stuff to cover, but first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can follow on Instagram, Rumble, TikTok, all the platforms. If you can think of a platform, we're on it. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you like the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing it with somebody else you think might like it too.
Yes, please do so. We also have our affiliate program sponsors. We got Dick's Sporting Goods, MLB Shop, and Lids. Harrison and I have been picking up our Lids caps. They've got crazy deals going on right now. They do all season long, but you can find these links on our social media pages. You just click the link, buy the products from them, and we get a nice little kickback, and it supports us so we can bring you the fine content that we do every week. This is exciting for us. We now have Rounding Third merch. It is here. So we have had some followers like come on and be like, hey, we need Rounding Third merch. We need it. We need it. Well, it's here, folks. It is here. So you can find us on Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy. We have sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. We have some nice tumblers. We got cell phone cases. We got pint glasses in there. It's really cool stuff. So if you go in there, shows you support us, we'd really appreciate that as well. And as we're going on, if you guys can think of things that you would want in the store, we can put it together and put it up for you. So this is really exciting for us to finally do this.
Yeah, I mean, we've got posters, notebooks. I mean, all the stuff we thought you might like, we've got in the store. And like Nick said, tell us what you want. Yeah, we'll put it in the store, but you'd look great in a Rounding Third hoodie. Just saying.
For sure. So go ahead, check that out again. Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy. All right. Moving on to the reason we're all here. Baseball. Alex Bregman's still looking for a home. What is the latest here? What's going on with him? It seems like the Cubs and Jays are out, and it's like a hard out. Like, don't come back to us like we're done out. Red Sox reportedly won't go past 4 years. The Tigers are also in that boat. And I read right before we came on, the Astros have upped their offer. What that means, I don't particularly know. But Bregman still didn't sign on the dotted line. So what is he waiting for?
I mean, we talked about it last week, and he's been insistent that he wants a 6 or 7 year deal. He's looking for the market value. You know, he's using Machado as the market value. Who's a younger player, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I honestly think he's holding out for the perfect deal, and I don't know if Boris is telling him it's out there or if they just want to play this thing out and see where it goes. But you were deep in conversation with the Cubs. The Cubs actually called Boris out on leveraging their conversations against them with another team. So the Cubs backed away and said, we're good. The Red Sox reiterated, we're not going past 4 years. If that's a deal breaker, then we're out. The Tigers have offered 5 or 6 years, I believe, but at a lower AAV. The Blue Jays offered 5 or 6 years at a lower AAV. The Astros had a standing 6-year offer to him. And here we are on February 10th with no contract signed. Pitches and catches are reporting he still doesn't have a job. I don't know what he thinks. I don't know if he's just being unrealistic, if he's just willing to ride this thing out to the very end. I'm not even sure at this point that he's going to sign and get to spring training on time. He may show up really late.
Yeah. Is he good? Yeah. Bregman's a good baseball player, but we've talked about this as like, you do have the stench of 2017 on you. Like, is that still in the back of some organizations' minds?
I mean, I don't think it goes away. I think you, as a general manager, you need to be able to sign players that fit your team that you can sell to the fan base as a positive. Maybe the being able to sell this to the fan base as a positive is tough, but I mean, he at one point he had 5 offers.
Yeah.
They all sounded like they were all different, but they were all good, and he signed none of them. I don't know if they're just holding out thinking they can squeeze a little bit more out of somebody. Maybe the offers are, because we don't have the details, maybe the offers are actually way off base and not as good as we think. But I have a tough time thinking that you had 5 teams talking to you and you're still without a contract. Something in there has to be good enough to get you to go, okay, let's go down this path.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I mean, you're on the fence of possibly not even having a job this season. Like if you're demanding this and there's, not a single team out there willing to give it to you, when do you finally be like, all right, like I fold, like I'm going to take a 3-year deal or even just a 1-year flyer and try it again next year? Like,
I would have thought you'd be there now. Spring training starts full blast in about a week, and you still don't have a job now. And he's coming off of what was not his best season, but he was still a 4 WAR player, 260 batting average, 26 home runs, 150 hits. This is still a very good player. He's 30 years old. He's looking to sign, probably the big deal that gets him down to the very end or close to the very end. But for some reason, he is looking for something that nobody's offering. And I don't think it's clear, at least from what we've read, what that is.
Yeah. I haven't really seen an updated offer lately.
No, I mean,
not really.
Week after week, we hear rumors that he's talking to so-and-so and this is coming in. He's got that offer and this is the deal. And then every week we're like, well, is he going to sign? Like, what's going on? Because I feel like there's been teams have come in, teams have left. And I feel like over the last 2 months, we thought we'd see progress and there's been none. He's in the same spot he was back in December when he had the Red Sox, Tigers, and Astros.
Yeah.
That's still all he's got.
Yeah. I don't get it. So at this point, I don't think he's signing before spring training starts. But does he sign during spring training at all? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think, and Buster only reported just a little while ago that the expectation is that Bregman's going to make a decision soon. And I think Boris is playing this up as Bregman is basically bringing in all offers. He's going to pick one and sign. I don't know what soon means. I don't know where the offers stand. I cannot believe Alex Bregman is going to report to spring training late. This is a guy who is a play every day, love to play, grind it out kind of player. He's not built to sit on the sidelines and let this develop. As much as he said he's prepared to take this to the end and ride this thing out, I don't think he is. He's the kind of guy that wants to get out there and get to work. Right. So I have to believe in the next week he's gonna pick a dancing partner, sign a contract, and go. Because I can't imagine him sitting there watching spring training happening and not be there.
Well, and just not getting paid. Period. Like, you don't sign a contract, you don't get a paycheck, buddy. Like, it's how it goes. So
yeah, I mean, do you want to sit at home and twiddle your thumbs while everybody else is at spring training playing games, getting ready, or do you want to sign a contract and get after it? I think he wants to get after it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see. I mean, he's at some point he's got to just accept it for what it is, pick the best offer of the bunch, and go.
I mean, and the worst thing that could have happened was sit back and watch that Pete Alonso debacle go down too.
Oh, that was a disaster.
A disaster, and it shows that the market's not there for anyone. Like, if your name's not Juan Soto, like, there wasn't much of a market for anyone, really.
No, it's been a very top heavy offseason. The top handful of players got paid. Everybody else is kind of fighting for what's left.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Pie's only so big.
Right, but you would think that Alonso and Bregman would almost be in that upper tier, right? I would put Bregman there. I think Alonso is on the edge of it. Okay, but yeah, I mean, fair. In fairness, I mean, I would consider those guys, maybe they're the bottom end of the top tier, because you look at, Snell, Burns,
Soto. I mean,
Freed.
you had Freed. I mean, you had some high end guys in this class of free agents.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then other players that were snapped up in trades. Devin Williams, Garrett Crochet, like some pretty big names moved in trades too. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, these are not like replacement level players. These are all-star caliber guys that are sitting there waiting for a job. The Pete Alonso situation was a disaster. I think that's as much on Boris as it is on anything else. I think the Bregman situation, I think he's just trying to see what he can get. But I think Boris is doing him no favors by trying to pit one against the other, and then they know it and they're like, well, get out of here, dude. Like we're not going to negotiate against ourselves.
Right. And we said it a little bit last week, was just like, I think the owners and teams, organizations, whoever's dealing with Scott Boras is like, pretty much just done with the games.
Yeah.
Like, just come and give us an offer and we'll say yes or no. Like, and that's it. Like, don't tell us, like the Cubs were like, dude, stop using us as leverage. Like, this is not okay. Like, we're not okay with that. And those are the games that, yes, a good agent does that. And I completely understand that.
Yep.
But he's done it for so long and so often that everyone's just done with it. Like, dude, just give us a realistic offer. We'll say yes or no. And that's that.
Yeah. And I get it. As an agent, you're trying to create urgency and, know that I've got other offers and try to squeeze more out of people. But you've been doing this for 3 months, dude. You've made zero progress.
Yeah.
Just make the calls, get everybody's best offer in and pick one. Because I think that the window to negotiate is closed. Teams are going to spring training. They're assessing what they've got. They're filling in the last few holes. The number of openings are shrinking every day. And your guy doesn't have one of them.
Great. All right. Kike Hernandez is re-signing with the Dodgers, 1-year deal. Like I said here, like that's cool and all, but where and when does he play?
I mean, they probably have some sort of like cooler that somebody's got to man and hand out waters and Gatorades. I mean, that might be his spot. There was zero market for Kike,
No.
which makes sense. I mean, other than LA, he really hasn't performed anywhere else. I mean, his time in Boston was very up and down.
The 2021 playoffs, holy smokes!
I mean, yeah, it seems like the playoffs when he shows up.
No.
I mean, he's probably going to be a fourth outfielder, utility guy, playing when guys need a day off. But I mean, the reality of it is, and we've talked about this, like every game he plays is a day somebody else isn't playing. And I don't think you want a lot of those guys he'd be playing for and not playing. So right. I think he is going to be the guy who's just giving guys a day off.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, late inning replacements, I mean, I think that's pretty much all he comes in for. But
yeah, he's not going to get a lot of playing time. He's not going to get a lot of at bats. He's going to run some. He's going to play some days off. He's going to be a defensive replacement. But I mean, for him, it's a 1-year deal. He's going to get paid to basically hang out. Maybe get in for an inning or two every couple of days. Like, yeah, not a bad deal.
Yeah. Connor Joe, so from the Pirates, he signs 1-year deal with the Padres here. This was kind of cool. He played at the University of San Diego and is native to San Diego. So this is a kind of coming home signing for Connor Joe. So kind of cool there. Not a crazy big move for the Padres. Connor Joe's a solid player, I would say, but nothing really splashy or spectacular. But then the Padres turn around and also sign Jason Hayward. So he joins Merrill, Tatis, and Joe to round out their outfield there, kind of a 4-man outfield. Do the Padres have a legit chance to get back to where they were last season, or have they taken a step back in the NL West?
I mean, I think given where they're at right now, where they haven't traded Cease or King, really the only thing you've lost Ta-Sung Kim, but just going to shuffle some guys around.
And he was hurt most of the year last year anyways.
Yeah, you didn't get a full sample from him, so you're going to move Xander back over. You lost Profar, who had a great season, but, Hayward and Connor Joe can fill in probably a decent amount of that. I mean, I don't think this team has gotten substantially worse. I mean, I think their pitching is going to carry them. Cease, King, Darvish. I mean, that's a pretty good 1, 2, 3. I think that the lineup, you still have all your key guys. You still have Machado and Tatis, and so I think the Padres are going to be good. I mean, are they going to be a legitimate threat in the NL West? I mean, no. I mean, I don't think anybody's a legitimate threat to the Dodgers anymore. But they're going to be hanging around. They're likely a playoff team.
Yeah.
At least on the edge. I mean, the only thing that's going to work against them is the NL East. You very easily could have 3 teams come out of the NL East this year. That leaves them fighting really for kind of one spot.
Yeah. And with the Diamondbacks in their own division.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm with you here. I think the NL West could be another Dodgers runaway. I mean, we all know what the Dodgers have done. I don't think the Padres have what it takes to leapfrog the Dodgers or anybody in that division other than the Rockies.
No.
But yeah,
I think you're gonna have 3 teams that come out of the East, 2 out of the West, 1 out of the Central, which means the Padres are fighting with the D-backs all year for second place, and that's going to be a tough battle because the D-backs got a lot better.
Yes, they did for sure. Okay, Pittsburgh Pirates. The last time the Pirates signed a multi-year free agent contract was in December of 2016. Do you know who he was, Harrison?
I feel like my initial reaction was Pedro Alvarez, but I don't.
It is a pitcher.
Oh, it was a pitcher. Oh,
that came over from the Yankees.
Oh my goodness. I don't then I know who it is.
This is
that Betances?
Ivan Nova.
Oh, Ivan Nova.
Ivan Nova on a 3-year deal. 2016 was the last time the Pirates signed a multi-year free agent. That is astonishing. That's crazy. It's all been 1-year deals. Think about it. All the re-ups to McCutchen, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. They did, however, sign the 8-year extension with Reynolds, but he wasn't a free agent. So, but that's it. And this came out this week, and
wow,
the rest of the league's taking notice, and they're pretty pissed about it. Like, this is what we were kind of talking about last week with the low teams not spending, but the high teams spending way. Like, which one do we want to get rid of the most? And like, this is an issue. You have an owner that's not willing to give guys long-term deals to give your team even a chance to compete.
No, like I mean, hell, the Pirates give out 1-year deals and cut the guys in September anyways. So
crazy. But 2016, December of 2016.
What's crazier? What's crazier, the fact that it was 2016 or the fact it was Ivan Nova?
Yes.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was an astonishing stat. I saw that this week. I was like, that is nuts. I mean,
it's been 8 years since you've signed a long-term contract with a free agent. Like, that's mind-boggling.
Yeah. I wouldn't even call 3 years a long contract. But it's a first multi-year free agent contract. That is mind-numbing.
That is crazy.
Yep. Absolutely.
But it explains why the Pirates are where they are.
Yep, exactly. So Trey Mancini still kind of kicking around here, signs a minor league deal contract with the Diamondbacks here. This is just a depth move for the Diamondbacks in case of injury. They can kind of move Mancini up there, but nice to see this guy kicking around after the story that he's been through and all that stuff. So it's good to see him around the league still.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing. Like, I love Trey Mancini, his story, what he's been through. And I love the fact that he's still around. Yeah, it's a minor league deal. Yeah, he's late in his career, but he's still around. And I think he's one of those guys, like we've talked about in the past, that having a guy like that around spring training is going to be good for the young players. It's good for even the veterans. Like, he's one of those glue type guys, good morale guy. Will keep people upbeat. He's just a good guy to have around your club.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. I know it's early, Harrison, but here we go.
Right out of the chute, huh? All right, here we
Right
go.
out of the chute. There wasn't a lot of news this week, so we
No.
gotta fill it in here with some
All right.
batting champions 1990 to present. So you'll see how it works. I'm going to
Ooh.
give you the year. I'm going to give you the two teams that the player was on when they won their batting title. So here we go. Who were the 1990 batting champions? In the NL from the St. Louis Cardinals, the AL was the Kansas City Royals.
All right. So 1990, Kansas City Royals has to be George Brett.
It is George Brett.
And in the NL, St. Louis Cardinals. We talked about it before the show. Oh, it was Willie McGahee or Willie McGee.
You did it.
I did it.
You did it.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Not to be confused with Willis McGahee, which
You said it earlier, and I can't get it out of my head now.
Yeah. So Willie McGee 335 and George Brett at 329. All right.
Oh God.
Who were the batting champions in 1991? From the NL, the Atlanta Braves, and the AL, the Texas Rangers.
Oh boy.
So the NL, the Atlanta Braves guy won MVP that year.
I was just gonna say Pendleton won the MVP that year. Did he win the batting championship?
He did, yes.
All right. AL Texas Rangers. So who for the Rangers back in, so that was like, it's too early for like Pudge. It's too early for.
It is a guy that played for a long time. I'm thinking like late 40s.
Is this Franco?
It is Julio Franco.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. 341.
Wow. That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and a 319. Yes, we actually have our own offshoot Red Sox podcast. So go over and check that out. Rounding Third Boston. Yes, we love the Red Sox. Red Sox are our team. But yes, and thank you. This is really kind. We love doing the show and this podcast. So thank you for the compliment. But all right. Next one for you, Harrison. Who are the 1992 batting champions? From the NL, the San Diego Padres, the AL, Seattle Mariners.
AL has to be Edgar, right?
It is Edgar. Mm-hmm.
NL for the Padres, though, like that wasn't Gwynn.
It was not Gwynn. No, nice. It wasn't him.
Wouldn't have been a guy like a Caminiti too soon. Who else was in San Diego? This is gonna be somebody random. It's like it's too early to be like a Giles or a like who.
Yep. So key piece of the Florida Marlins in 97.
Oh, yeah, Sheffield.
It is Sheffield. Yeah.
I always forget about Sheffield with the Padres.
Yep. 330 for Sheffield, 343 for Edgar Martinez. Yep. All right.
Wow.
Who were the 1993 batting champions? And the NL was the Colorado Rockies. The AL was the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, John, that's Dave Winfield was a good guess.
That is a great guess.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, Blue Jays 93. That's got to be my boy Johnny Olerud.
It is Johnny Olerud.
Gotta be. Mm-hmm. Rockies. So that would have been expansion Rockies. So it's either Bichette or Galarraga.
Pick one.
Average, I'll go Galarraga.
Yes, sir. The big cat. 370
370
and 363. Yep. Welcome to Colorado. Let me just hit close to 400.
Wow.
Yeah, the big cat and John Olerud.
Wow.
Yeah, nice job on that one. All right. 94, the strike year.
Oh, yeah.
Who were the 94 batting champions? In the NL was the San Diego Padres, and the AL was the New York Yankees.
All right. This one I know was Gwynn in the NL.
Yep.
The AL, it's not Tino. It's
It is another lefty.
4, yeah. Not Bernie, not. Oh, is it Paul O'Neill?
It is Paul O'Neill. Yes, good. 394 for Gwynn.
394. Get out.
Yeah, and Paul O'Neill 359.
I see your 370 Galarraga and raise you 394.
Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid.
It really is.
All right. 95 batting champions. NL San Diego Padres. AL Seattle Mariners.
I'm gonna take the obvious picks again of Gwynn and Edgar Martinez.
Yep, Gwynn and Edgar Martinez. Good. 368. That's an off year for Gwynn. And
I know,
then
what a down year.
Martinez at 356. Yep. All right.
Yeah, John, you're totally right. That was he was so close to 400. I think we all expected 400.
Yeah, it's terrible. Man. All right. 96, Harrison.
96.
Batting champions. NL San Diego Padres. AL Seattle Mariners.
Is it the same two as in 95?
No.
So not Gwynn and Edgar?
It is Gwynn.
Okay, so it's still Gwynn.
Still Gwynn.
So 96. See, you would have Buhner Jr.
Oh,
Edgar.
I think John's got it.
Oh, A-Rod. Yeah, there you go.
A-Rod, yeah, nice job.
Nice.
Alex Rodriguez 358. Tony Gwynn 353. Nice. All right. Who were the 1997 batting champions? Guess you'll never get the NL, the San Diego Padres, and the AL Chicago White Sox.
So it's gonna be Tony Gwynn.
That's a great guess. It's him.
Could just keep filling that one in.
Yeah.
Chicago White Sox in 97. I mean, the only person I can think of that would have had that kind of season is Frank.
It is Frankie Thomas.
But I don't think of Frank as an average guy.
Nope. John got it again. Big Hurt. He's on a roll too. All right. So Tony Gwynn 372. Big Hurt 347.
394, 368, 372. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, only won 4 in a row, 5 in a one, 4 in a row there.
Jeez.
Gross. Absolutely gross. All right. Who were the 1998 batting champions? NL from the Colorado Rockies, AL from the New York Yankees.
Finally mixed it up. So 98 Rocky. So now you're beyond the Bichette and Galarraga days. Now you're getting into it's got to be Walker then.
It is Larry Walker.
And the 98 Yankees. Boy, that's say again, you got to go down the list. Tino.
Not Paul O'Neill. Good guess.
Oh,
John.
is this Bernie?
It is Bernie Williams. Yes, good. He hit 339. Right. Larry Walker hit 363.
These NL averages are insane.
Yeah. Well, especially at Coors Field there.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Who were the 1999 batting champions from the NL, from the Colorado Rockies, and the AL, our Boston Red Sox?
Well, I know that the AL is Nomar.
The AL is Nomar.
So for sure, Nomar. Is it Walker again for the Rockies?
It is Walker again for the Rockies.
379.
and then Nomar had 357.
Jeez.
Crazy. Okay. Who are the 2000 batting champs? NL Colorado Rockies, AL Boston Red Sox.
I know 2000 was the 372 year for Nomar.
Yes, sir.
So it's Nomar. It's not. Is it Walker again?
No.
Or is this Helton?
It's Helton.
Okay. So it's at some point they kind of passed the baton.
Yeah, he just traded with Walker here. 372 for him that year. 372 for Nomar.
That's right.
So,
that was the year they're both chasing it.
Yep. So I know Nomar that year was unbelievable to watch.
Grotesque.
Yeah. Just unconscious, all 162. It was gross.
Yep.
So who were the 2001 batting champions from the NL? Again, from the Colorado Rockies, AL, Seattle Mariners.
The Rockies had quite a run here. Is this still Helton or is it Walker again?
It's Walker again. Sorry,
Okay.
I lost track on my list. Yeah, it's Walker again.
And the that's got to be Ichiro in 2001.
It is Ichiro. Yeah. I solely had to write this list down for myself because of that Rockies chunk. Because I was like, where does it break up and then keep going?
It's Walker, Helton, Walker.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So Walker 350, Ichiro 350. So pretty cool that 2 years in a row there, the batting champions had the same average in both.
I know.
Leagues. Pretty cool.
So wild.
Yeah. Yeah. That was Ichiro's Rookie of the Year, MVP, batting title, hit record, like everything in 2001 when he came on.
Yeah.
So
A-Rod again was a good guess. Totally a good guess.
Yeah. And I forget that Ichiro came in the 2000s. Like I always want to put him like late 90s too, but I always forget it's like 2001.
Yeah, it took me a second for it to click that 01 was his debut.
Yeah, absolutely. Who were the 2002 batting champions? NL, San Francisco Giants. AL, Boston Red Sox.
02. Okay, this wasn't Nomar in 02 for the Red Sox. It had to have been Manny?
It is Manny.
Okay. And then Giants. I mean, it's either Bonds or Kent. Bonds?
It is Bonds, yeah.
Did he actually get enough swings to get hits?
Yeah, I guess so. Yep. 370 and then Manny's 349. And one of my favorite pictures of Manny Ramirez ever is both hands in the air after a home run. It's so sick.
Yeah, was that against K-Rod, the one up in that bomb to the left?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Such a good picture.
Who were the 2003 batting champs? NL, St. Louis Cardinals. AL, Boston Red Sox.
So we actually talked about this a few weeks back. The AL was Billy Miller when we were talking about the 04 ALCS.
Yes, sir.
Billy Miller, St. Louis Cardinals in 03. So like Edmonds.
No.
Roland. No, Roland wasn't really an average guy. Oh, Pujols.
It is Pujols, yes. 359 for Pujols and a 326 for Billy Miller.
Nice job, John. John's cleaning up in the chat. I gotta work faster.
Yeah. Yep.
He's gonna catch me.
Yep. All right. Who were the 2004 batting champions from the NL, from the San Francisco Giants, and the AL, Seattle Mariners?
It's got to be Ichiro again.
It is Ichiro again.
And I feel like I'm going to go Bonds again in the NL because I can't think of who else it would be.
Yep, that is true. It's Bonds again, 362. Ichiro, 372.
Jeez.
Crazy. This is kind of an outlier year. This might be a tough one here. Who were the 2005 batting champions? From the NL, the Chicago Cubs, the AL, the Texas Rangers.
So the only Texas Ranger I can think of that won batting titles roughly in this window was Michael Young.
Yes, nice job. Michael Young for the Rangers. Good.
The Cubs in 05, though, that's not going to be Sammy.
He is getting inducted into the Team Hall of Fame with Sammy, though.
Oh, because my guess was going to be Grace if he was still there.
It's not Mark Grace. I think he's gone by then.
Yes, I was pretty sure he was gone by 05. So then is this Derek Lee then?
It is Derek Lee. Yes. Good. 335 and Young 331.
I mean, good. Michael Young was such a great hitter.
Yep. Who were the 2006 batting champions? From the NL, the Pittsburgh Pirates. AL, Minnesota Twins.
From the Pirates?
Yeah, this is a name I completely forgot about until I was doing this. I was like, wow, no way.
Good Lord. I mean, AL, that's got to be Mauer, right?
It is Mauer. Yep, good.
But
I will be utterly shocked if you pulled this name, to be completely honest. Like, talk about a flash in the pan.
Oh boy. So this is so flash in the pan. It's not going to be a guy like Kendall. It's not going to be a guy like Giles. It's not going to be a guy like. Oh, Jason Bay is a great guess, John. Is it Bay?
It is. It's not Jason Bay.
Oh,
I can't even give you any hints on this guy. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Paul Scanes and Byron Buxton. Not a bad guess either.
I mean, it might be as good a guess as I've got right now.
Yeah. Oh man. I'll even give you his initials and see if you can pull it out. FS.
FS.
I'm going to let you sit in this one a little bit because this one like blew me away.
There's a player coming to mind. He was a Red Sox originally that went to the Pirates. Is it Freddie Sanchez?
It is Freddie Sanchez.
He came up with the Red Sox and he was like a total dud.
Yeah, I didn't even know he came up with the Red Sox, but yeah.
I'm almost positive. I'm going to look him up. Freddie Sanchez. I'm pretty sure Freddie Sanchez came up with the Sox.
Yeah, 344.
He did. He came up in 2002 with the Red Sox. Was there for 2 seasons and went to Pittsburgh.
Oh, I didn't even remember on the Red Sox.
He only played like 30 games. He was one of their top prospects, and then he just like never could figure it out.
Dang. Yeah, Freddie Sanchez, 344, and Joe Mauer's 347. Yeah, flash in the pan, no doubt.
Yeah,
I was like blown away by that one.
What did Freddie Sanchez do the rest of his career? Like nothing?
I don't know. Like I said, I completely forgot about him. So
yeah, that's career 297 hitter.
Yeah, but for how long?
10 years. He played 900 games. So I guess there's not really that many.
No.
He was actually decent in Pittsburgh for a few years, and then otherwise he was a utility guy.
Yeah.
But he was like one of the Red Sox top prospects coming up.
That's crazy.
And then just kind of stunk.
Yeah. Who were the 2007 batting champions? From the NL, Colorado Rockies. The AL was from the Detroit Tigers.
Back to Colorado, huh?
Back to Colorado.
Is this too soon for Tulo?
Too soon for Tulo.
That's what I thought.
Well, it might not be too soon for Tulo. It's just not Tulo.
Okay,
Tulo. Right. Tulo, whatever.
Say Helton's still there.
It's not Todd. It's not Todd Helton. This guy was in a borderline controversial play in game 163 at the plate.
Matt Holliday.
It is Matt Holliday. How about from the Tigers?
The Tiger. A few names come to mind, like a Curtis Granderson or a Maglio.
It is Maglio. It's not Miggy. That's a good guess too. Yeah, Maglio Ordonez. 363. Matt Holliday was a 340.
Wow.
And just to let you know, the Colorado Rockies are still not done on this list. So just keep the Rockies on the back burner.
Oh my goodness,
now.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's
because you got LeMahieu in here somewhere, right?
I don't know. I'm not gonna give it away. All right. Who were the 2008 batting champions? Atlanta Braves in the NL, Minnesota Twins in the AL.
It's got to be Mauer again, right?
It is Mauer.
For the Braves in 2008. Oh, it's got to be Chipper.
Yes, sir. Chippa, 364, and Joe Mauer at 328. Nice work.
364. Holy cow.
Yep. It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are the 2009 batting champions? From the NL, Florida Marlins, AL, Minnesota Twins.
Is it Joe Mauer again?
It is Joe Mauer still, yes.
And the Marlins in 2009. So Miggy's gone by then, right?
Yeah, not Miggy.
Sheffield's gone by then?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because he was there in 2004. So he was
in
4. He was.
Yeah, I think Sheffield's on his like 42nd team.
Yeah,
at
so
this
he's
point.
on like team 27 by now. So, Marlins. Oh, it's Hanley.
It is Hanley. Yes.
I remember him getting the friggin' necklace about it or whatever it was.
Yep.
Oh,
342 for Hanley and 365 for Hall of Famer Joe Mauer.
Oh,
All right.
boy.
Who were the 2010 batting champions? Colorado Rockies again and Texas Rangers in the AL.
And they say there's no offense in Colorado. Man, is this too low? Like,
No, not too low.
oh boy.
Jazz Chisholm and Byron Buxton. Nope. Listen, Byron Buxton can't stay on the field long enough. I wish he could, but he can't.
And the Rangers, like, that's not Michael Young. That's not.
It's not Young and Tulo. Those are great guesses. Not
Yeah,
them.
I'm right there with you, John.
Rangers, this guy, I mean, potential Hall of Fame talent, but had a rough background.
It's Josh Hamilton.
It is Josh Hamilton. And this guy is an outfielder in Colorado, pretty big staple for them and big name for them for a while there.
You said center fielder?
Center fielder, right fielder, kind of bounced around in the outfield there.
Oh, is this Carlos Gonzalez?
Yes, Carlos Gonzalez, yes. 336 for Cargo and 359 for Joshua Hamilton. That's a dude, man. I wish we could have seen his entire career because he would have been, I mean, crazy.
I mean, he was the natural. Like, the guy just like stepped out there, did it all.
359 for Joey Gallo. If you meant his strikeout total, then yes, you would be right. But
oh yeah, Joey. Yeah. I mean, Joey Gallo had light tower power and hundreds of Ks to go with it.
Yeah. All right. Who were the 2011 batting champions from the NL, the New York Mets, AL, Detroit Tigers?
All right. This has got to be Miggy now, right?
It is Miguel Cabrera. Yes, sir.
But for the Mets. So who that would be like Alfonso?
Nope.
Gone is all the old guard. So like Alfonso.
Stay in the infield.
Just one of those like random first basemen that they had.
No.
Oh, is this Reyes?
It is Jose Reyes. Yes, good. 337 and then Miggy's 344. All right.
Those numbers are okay.
Yeah, they're decent. 2012 batting champions. Who were they? San Francisco Giants, Detroit Tigers.
It's Miggy again.
Yes, sir.
And 2012 for the Giants. That's got to be Posey.
It is Busta. Yes, 336 and 334 Cabrera. All right. I don't think you'll get this next one, but who was the 2013 batting champions? AL Detroit Tigers. That's the tough one. And NL Colorado Rockies.
So the Tigers, that's Miggy again.
Yep, 3 in a row.
And I know this answer only because Sean used to bring it up every so often on the show. That it's Michael Kadire.
It is Michael Kadire. Wow, good pull. Good remember.
2 or 3 times Sean brought it up. You know, Kadire and his batting title. I'm like, oh, it's just always stuck with me.
Yeah, 331 and Miguel Cabrera a measly 348.
Yeah,
so
another friggin' Colorado Rocky.
Don't worry, we got another.
Oh my lord!
Who were the 2014 batting title? Wow. Who were the 2014 batting champions from the NL Colorado Rockies, AL Houston Astros?
So 2014, you're getting it. So that's got to be Altuve.
It is Altuve.
But for the Rockies in 14, I mean, is it? I mean, I know Kadire didn't win more than one.
You do not picture this guy as a Rocky when you think of his career.
Oh, terrific. Where do I picture him?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh, is this Justin Morneau?
It is Justin Morneau. Yes. 319 and now
I don't think of him as a Rocky.
yeah. I always forget he went out there too until I saw this. I was like, oh yeah. Completely forgot. And then Jose Altuve hits 338. Nice.
Oh, he's only in Colorado for 2 seasons. Interesting.
Yep. All right.
Huh.
Who were the 2015 batting champs? Don't worry. AL Detroit Tigers again. And then from the NL, Miami Marlins.
So it's Miggy.
It is Miggy. he took a year off, but he's back. Don't worry.
Oh, man. Just that he was that good a hitter. That's the scary part.
Mm-hmm.
Marlins.
Yeah. This is a sneaky one.
2015 Marlins.
Think about the moment this guy had in 2016 when he lost a teammate.
Oh, is this D. Gordon?
It is D. Gordon. Yeah. 333. Miguel Cabrera hit a career low 338, probably.
Jeez.
Yeah. But yeah.
Wow.
D. Strange Gordon. All right. Here we go. Back to the Rockies. Who were the 2016 batting champions? So, like I said, from the Rockies, and then AL, the Houston Astros.
Is that Altuve again?
It is Altuve again.
A lot of repeats here.
Yeah.
For the Rockies. Oh, is this LeMahieu's year?
This was LeMahieu's year. I was waiting for it to kick in. I knew you had it.
I was trying to remember what year he won it.
Yeah. 348 for DJ LeMahieu and Jose Altuve 338. I could be wrong, but this might be either his first or second year in the league. LeMahieu? Yeah. I think he came up and made a splash like right away. A lot of contact with him. 2016.
He debuted in 2011 with the Cubs.
Oh wow!
And then he moved to Colorado in 2012.
Okay, so I was completely wrong. For some reason, I thought he came up around. Maybe he just started making a name for himself in.
Yeah, he
Colorado.
kind of he blew up in Colorado.
Yeah,
and it came on quick too.
Yeah. Huh. All right, who were the 2017 batting champs? Colorado Rockies again.
Oh my God.
Houston Astros again.
I'm just gonna guess Altuve again.
It is Altuve again. This was his MVP season.
Oh right, 2017. Yeah, his trash can season.
Yep, trash can season.
Which is sad because the guy already had 2 batting championships before he started cheating.
Who knows? He could have been cheating before that too. But
that's true. That's when they got busted. Who knows how long it was going on for? And then the Rockies. I mean, LeMahieu didn't win a second one there, right?
Nope. This guy just retired this year.
Oh, Charlie Blackmon?
It is Charlie Blackmon. Yes, 331.
He's a legend.
Altuve with a 346.
Wow.
All right. A few more here. We're almost up to current date here. Who were the 2018 batting champions from the NL, the Milwaukee Brewers, AL, Boston Red Sox?
So this has got to be Mookie and Yelich.
It is Mookie and Yelich. Yeah, it's going to probably start picking up for you here.
Getting closer to current day. These are going to be easy to remember.
Yep.
Although 2020 will be a crapshoot.
If right. Yelich 326, Mookie Betts 346. All right. Who were the 2019 batting champions? Almost said the name. Milwaukee Brewers from the NL, Chicago White Sox from the AL.
So Yelich again?
Yelich again.
And this must be Tim Anderson.
This is Tim Anderson. Yes.
Yeah, because we talked about that a couple weeks ago with him signing the minor league deal, that this was actually a batting champion.
Yeah. Crazy. Yep. 329. And then Tim Anderson's 335.
Wow.
All right. Who are the 2020 batting champs? NL, the Nationals. AL, the Yankees.
All right, 2020. So that's not Harper. So it's got to be Soto.
It is Soto.
And the Yankees in 20. So the Yankees had the home run champion and the batting champion because wasn't Voit the home run guy?
Yep. Yeah, Voit had 21 that season, I think, in 60 games. It's crazy.
Oh, so this has got to be LeMahieu.
It is LeMahieu. Yep. 364 and Soto's 351.
Yeah. This was his one big season in New York.
Yep. All right. Who were the 2021 batting champs? From the NL, it was the Washington Nationals and the Los Angeles Dodgers. He went over in a trade. And then in the AL is the Houston Astros.
All right. So the trade, that's Trey Turner.
It is Trey Turner.
The Astros. It's not Altuve again.
No.
It's not Jordan. It's not Bregman. It's not. Who the hell's left?
His brother is currently on the Diamondbacks. And I think this guy actually played for your Royals a little bit last year.
Oh, is this Gurriel?
It is Yuli Gurriel, yeah, 319, and Trey Turner's 328.
He had an awesome season for them.
He really did. Yeah. All right. 2022 batting champs. Who were they? From the New York Mets and the Minnesota Twins.
So the Twins, that's Luis Ariz, the first one.
Yep.
Mets. Oh, that's McNeil.
It is Jeff McNeil. Good. 326. Ariz 316. Okay, next one. The 2023 batting champs from the Miami Marlins and the Tampa Bay Rays.
All right, so the Marlins, that's Ariz with the second team. Tampa Bay Rays. Wasn't Siri, not Arozarena.
This dude's got massive arms. It's
Yan, I said it's the big dude, Yandy Diaz. I could not think of his name.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. 354, and then Yandy Diaz had a 330. Good. And then last year's batting champs, NL Miami Marlins and San Diego Padres, AL, your Kansas City Royals.
Yes, so it is it's Ariz again and Bobby Witt Jr.
Yes, sir. Yep. Absolutely. That was awesome. So
that was fun. Some of those were like blasts from the past.
Yeah, those were fun for me to put together for sure. I was just like, dang, that's nuts. But yeah, that was fun putting me, like I said, like Freddie Sanchez is the one that still sticks out to me. Like, what the heck? That's so random. But
it really is. I mean, and talk about just a one hit wonder.
But what was so easy for me to put this together is I could just copy and paste Colorado Rockies into all the boxes, because I was shocked, like going back and like really dissecting it the way I did. Like, I couldn't believe how many Rockies over their franchise history have won batting titles.
Yeah, that was insane.
I mean, I guess it's not that much of a shock, because I mean, like, that's a lot of ground at Coors Field to find some green in. You know what I mean? Like outfield space, like there's a lot of green out there to be had. So, I mean,
yeah, for sure. It's a big outfield, but I mean, and also the Rockies have had a lot of good hitters. Yeah. The problem is they've not had pitching, obviously, because what pitcher wants to sign up to go there?
Yeah.
Yeah, John, it's totally true. If you need a prove it deal, go to Colorado and just hit.
Well, I think ultimately that's what Chris Bryant's plan was.
Wait,
and then he just kind of fell asleep.
Take the money and go put up insane numbers.
Do a league of leaders in stolen bases on Thursday. Whew. Well, if you want to put that together, Jay, it's all you. No, I'll write it down. I might be able to put that together. We'll see if I can get it done for Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, if not, maybe we'll do it next week. That'd be a fun one, because that there's a lot of names on that list, I bet.
And I might not go all the way back to 1990 this time.
Yeah, maybe not, because that would be crazy. And I'm pretty sure from the chat there, Caleb, I saw you get more than one out of all those. So I think you did better.
Yeah, and if like people like, I mean, it's no secret. We cut up our show and we put them on Facebook and YouTube and stuff as reels and stuff. And like, people don't understand how hard it is to pull these out like live. Like it's hard, like right up the top of your head to go quick. But I mean, you guys in the chat have been awesome. So we love this. So we love you guys playing along and joining in on the fun. That's why we do it. So, yeah, we try to get creative with the trivia, but we try to switch it up every week. But I'll see if I can get that stolen base leaders together for Thursday or next Sunday. But because we got some time here, because spring training doesn't usually bring us a ton of news. So we'll have some time to do a lot more different kinds of trivia for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of that weird phase of things are just starting up. There's going to be some news to report on, but it's going to be a lot of like, hey, everybody worked out today. Like, okay, no real news, but
yeah,
we'll see.
So I don't have anything else tonight, just because we kind of all covered it at the beginning and then had that longer-ish trivia segment. But do you have anything to add this week, Harrison Smith?
I got a couple things for you. So, starting off with, I think we talked about it last week where Shohei is not expected to pitch until probably May. But he was down at spring training today, throwing off a mound, getting ready. So they're basically putting him on an extended throwing program to let him build back the arm strength and all that slowly. So he will be throwing off a mound, not necessarily max effort, but he is throwing off a mound already. He's planning to see hitters, when they do the live BP with everybody else. So they are going to put him on the standard throwing program, let him build back up. But they're not going to let him kind of fully let it go until May. So you will see him. You will not see Max Ohtani, but you will see him out there trying to go through a full spring training as a pitcher.
Nice. I do want, since there is people watching and the people that are watching asked for this, I do want to share our merch page again.
Oh, yeah.
So for you guys in the chat that have been asking for it, Harrison and I spent some time this weekend. We put it together. We do have Rounding Third merch now. We got sweatshirts, t-shirts, hats. We got some tumblers in there, cell phone cases, some pint glasses. So you can just check it out, Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy. That's where we're at. So if you want some Rounding Third merch, I have an order in, or it's coming in soon. No, Harrison's going to put in an order here. So we're excited to have this out. So if you guys want to support us, go ahead over there to Rounding Third Baseball on Etsy and grab some Rounding Third merch. It'd be greatly appreciated. So, all right, back to the regularly scheduled program.
So, yeah. Anyway, so just to recap that real quick, Shohei is in a regular throwing program. He's not going to pitch until May, but they're trying to build the arm back up and let him go through a full spring training as both a pitcher and a hitter.
Which makes sense. I mean, there was threat of him possibly pitching in the playoffs. We were talking about a little bit there, and we're just like, I mean, don't do it, obviously, but there was talk that he could.
Yeah, well, so, and I mean, to John's comment here, like I think there's a reality where the Dodgers are very careful with him, and that maybe he makes 2 starts and then skips one, because if the one thing that team has is they've got depth.
Yep.
If you need somebody to step in and take a start, then you've got plenty of guys kicking around to do so. So I do think they're going to be careful with him. And also, as we've seen, the years that he pitches, his offensive output does decline, obviously, because he's splitting his time.
Decline. Yeah, I mean, it's still
he might hit 35 or 40 instead of 50, but so I think the Dodgers are balancing the fact that like they don't necessarily need him to pitch because they've got so many pitchers, but they definitely need him to hit.
Yeah.
So I'll be curious how they manage him throughout the season, because that's going to be a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
In other news, the Dodgers, so Farhan Zahidi, we all know from the San Francisco Giants, was hired as a special advisor to the Dodgers today. He was a previous executive with the Dodgers before he went to San Francisco. They're bringing him back as an advisor because, again, like he's regarded as a very good executive, a very good baseball guy. Just didn't work out in San Francisco, not because they didn't try, but because they just couldn't get the pieces together. So he's back in LA to help them out because, what else does that franchise need but more help building a winning team?
Yeah, but the question is, how much of that contract is deferred?
Yeah, are they now deferring executive pay? I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Yeah. Does it count against the cap? That's all I care about.
Right, exactly. Is there going to be a luxury tax paid on that?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, and then I got the New York Times published an article yesterday that caught my eye. So they looked at the teams with the biggest jumps and declines in payroll going into 2025. And some of these are surprising. So your team's making the biggest jump in payroll. So this is just comparing the change from 2024 to 2025. Nick, what team would you guess is making the largest jump in payroll year to year?
Well, the Oakland Athletics this year.
Actually not.
Really? Because they really jumped up to get to the floor. But is that counting this offseason, or when was this?
It is. It's counting. It's counting just total payroll from 2024 to where they're currently sitting in 2025.
So it's not the Oakland A's, huh?
It's not the Oakland A's.
Would it be your Royals because of the Bobby Witt extension?
So the Royals are in the top 5, but they're not number 1.
Huh. Let's see. I don't know.
So your number 1 team with a 56% increase is the Baltimore Orioles.
Really?
Now, the first reaction is, how is that possible? Because they didn't really sign that many guys.
But they took on the Corbin Burns contract, right? Does that jump up? Does that count?
Well, in 2024 it did, but in 2025 it's gone.
Oh, right.
So they're actually showing an increase. So the issue with the Orioles is the fact that they've got arbitration guys, they've got guys on contracts that are stepping up. You've got the guys you added. Santander comes off the books. He was relatively cheap. So when you actually look at all the moving parts for the Orioles, their payroll actually takes the biggest jump in baseball next year.
Which, I mean, now that you break it down that way, it definitely makes sense. Like, all those young kids are going to demand a little bit more in arbitration, and they're all good, so they're going to demand more money in arbitration. But yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that much. That's crazy.
Yeah, so Baltimore's got a 56% increase. The second highest increase, Nick, is the Detroit Tigers. So their payroll goes up 37% into 2025.
That's now just because they signed one free agent.
Well, it's honestly because they've actually signed a couple of guys. And I think Skubal got arbitration money. Not necessarily a lot, but he got some.
Riley Green probably did.
Yeah. So you've seen some increases there. The third team, and this is driven almost entirely by arbitration results, is San Diego at 21%. Because keep in mind, Cease and King both just got new arbitration deals.
Oh, that's right.
That jumped up their salaries pretty significantly. So San Diego, although they've done really not much, are seeing a 21% increase.
Well, because Cease went from literally just over $1 million to 13.75, right? Something like that. And it was a big one.
King went from 2 to 7.75. So I mean, they saw some jumps. In fourth are your Athletics, Nick, 17%. Okay. But keep in mind that's got moving parts from year to year with players that are falling off and stuff like that. But they're number 4.
I mean, that made sense because that's why they came to my mind. They had the Rooker extension. You signed Severino. You signed Springs. You signed that one just made sense for me. But yeah.
Yeah. So they're fourth, and then tied in fifth would be Kansas City, LA, and Philadelphia, all with a 16% increase.
But still, 16% of LA increase at what they already were is ridiculous.
Well, their 16% increase is larger than some teams' entire payroll. So
yeah,
there's that. All right, So now the clubs with the biggest declines. Can you guess the number one team in terms of biggest decline in payroll?
Marlins,
Marlins are second.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Nope. Actually, the
Oh,
Rays salary wise are in about the same spot. This is a team that was trying hard at the end of the year to dump players, and they're still trying to dump players.
team that's trying to dump players that are still trying to.
They
Well,
got an
that's why
outfielder they're trying to get rid of.
I'm drawing a blank. Hold on.
They were really terrible last year.
Oh, the White Sox.
The White Sox, yeah. So by trading Hernandez, if they get rid of Robert, this will go even lower. But Chicago White Sox, a 47% decrease in salary.
Yikes. That's a
Number
lot.
Number 2 is Miami, 37% decrease in salary. Number 3 is St. Louis with a 19% decrease.
And that could go lower if they get Arenado out of town.
Exactly. Number 4 is tied. It's the Cubs and the Rockies at a 16% decrease. Because the Cubs dumped Bellinger, they picked up Tucker, who's a lot cheaper, but Tucker's going to get paid really well in the offseason. They've moved a bunch of pieces around and actually been able to drive some cost out.
Yeah,
and then
I was going to say the Rockies Blackman retiring takes a lot of money off the books too there.
Yeah, that's probably all of it right there. And then in 5th place, it's San Francisco and Washington with a 15% decrease.
Dang.
And then, believe it or not, the Pittsburgh Pirates, who had the second lowest payroll in the majors last year, they're going to be 5% lower this year.
What a joke, man.
Yeah, so I'll drop a link to the article in the chat. It's sad to see the state of some of these teams. Now, I will say that I think the White Sox and Miami are temporary. I think they're going to bring young players in. They're going to get this thing hopefully go in the right direction again. You'll see those guys start to get paid, and that'll climb. Hopefully. I think Colorado is what it is. I think Washington's kind of where they're at. San Fran and the Cubs are going to jump. St. Louis will jump back up, but they've got to clean house and start over. So you've got some teams that are also just like in the middle of like really big rebuilds.
Yeah. I don't know what to even think about it at this point, really. I mean, like, I get it. Like, teams do need to break it all down, tear it all down, whatever cliche you want to use, and rebuild. Like, sometimes that's just what you have to do. The way the contracts end and expire, like, sometimes that just happens, right?
Yep.
But when you're the Pirates, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, and you're not signing any multi-year free agent deals to help your team at all since 2016, that's an issue. That's a big issue.
Yeah, you're making no attempt to build a winner.
Yeah.
And that's where it goes back to, like, another article today, salary cap, no salary cap. Like, if you're going to do a cap, you got to do a floor. Like, you've got to create guardrails here where these teams can't continue to spend nothing.
Right.
And honestly, by putting a floor in place, these owners that aren't really serious about building a winner are going to choose to get out. And that's not a bad thing.
No. I mean, not necessarily good for fans, because then we definitely won't be able to afford tickets to go to the games. But for the good of the game, I guess, like, you want teams to be competitive. You want every team to be competitive. And I get it. You're always going to have bottom tier teams, right? You do in every single sports league. Like, that's going to happen. But you can also make it a little bit tighter. You can squeeze the upper and lower teams so there is not such a big gap between the top and the bottom.
But, yeah, and that's the goal. It's you want to create as competitive a landscape as possible, so as many teams as possible can be in it, because that makes the game more interesting to all the different fan bases, brings more eyes, it makes it more worth watching.
Yeah. I mean, this is a fair point too. Back in the day, each team probably had one owner, and now you got like the Dodgers that have 12, the Red Sox have 6 or 7, and then everybody pools their money together, and it's like, hey, like, we have this much money to spend. Like, it is an advantage to have multiple owners for a franchise. Like, it is. but I don't see the league stepping in and saying anything about that. I don't think they can at this point, really.
Yeah. Oh, and I do think, I mean, John's 100% right. Like, you have these investment groups that all come together, and there's usually like the lead who is in charge of like running the team, and then you got all these other people that are just pooling money in to be part of it. But I think part of that too is the way these valuations are. I mean, the value of these teams is insane. These you're getting value at the low end. Your values are $1.5 to $2 billion. I mean,
crazy.
George Steinbrenner bought the Yankees for $10 million in the 70s. That family's made a pretty good return off the value of that organization in the meantime. But the values are crazy, and it now takes that level of investor. But also MLB's, just like other leagues, they're also more selective with who gets them. Like, they don't just sell them to anybody. They want to make sure you're coming in. You've got legitimate operators. You've got real capital behind you. Like, there's a much more intense vetting process that I think almost requires you to have more people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same reason that we saw Barry Larkin join the group in Orlando trying to get an expansion team. Like, he adds baseball credibility while somebody else brings cash and somebody else brings, operating experience, and you piece all these people together and come together as a group and try to check all the boxes.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the same thing you saw when the Nashville Sounds were trying to get a group together for expansion. Like, you saw Don Mattingly join that group, and so it's kind of all the same thing.
Yeah, you almost have to have multiple people, because MLB wants to see so many different things in your ownership structure.
Right. But absolutely. All right. Do you have anything else for this evening?
Nothing else for me. I just, I keep keeping my eyes open for you, John. I'm waiting to see the Mariners make a big signing.
Yeah, and Jorge Polanco's not doing it, so sorry about it. Yeah, but
no, good. Yeah. Good comment in the chat. I do not think the Royals are going after Alex Bregman.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about it there.
I think he's a little out of their price range.
Yeah, he's out of a lot of teams' price ranges, almost 30 of them, actually, to be exact. So
I don't even know if he's got a price range right now. It seems like he's not even sure what he's trying to get.
Crazy. I don't know, but we will keep an eye out on that for you all, of course. But
yeah, watch the page for any breaking news. You'll hear it from us.
Yeah, absolutely. But all right, if you don't have anything, I don't have anything. Pitchers and catches report Wednesday. Thank freaking God. Like, we are here. Baseball season's here, and we are strapping up for a good one. So we will be on Thursday. Might not be much news. Maybe it'll just be a trivia or shoot the bull kind of episode, but we will be here Thursday night. So drop by, throw some topics in the chat. We'll, bounce them off each other like we usually do. And maybe talk the first day of pitchers and catchers reporting and how excited we all are for baseball season to finally be here. But until then, if you haven't already, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook, follow on Instagram, all the platforms, subscribe on YouTube. You can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Check out the Rounding Third Etsy store if you want some Rounding Third merch. It would be great. And we'll see you Thursday, probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock.